Hello my lords, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nick Sharaf's food log. As we have traveled east, we have traveled to the beautiful country of Bulgaria, known for Victor Crumb of Drumstrang, Wizarding School, Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire. No? Okay, I think I need to read up a bit on Bulgaria now. Anyway, we're making two Bulgarian breakfast specialities that are seen in nearly every Bulgarian home every morning. One is Banitsa and the second one is Mekitsi. And with that, we're making some wonderful plum jam. So let's start with the plum jam. So here we have in the saucepan plums, 4 ripe plums that we blend just slightly, not too much. There we go. It's nice if you leave a few pieces of plum in there. It's good to bite into. Now in this we put half the quantity of sugar as to the weight of the plums, and as to the weight of the sugar, 1/3 the amount of water. And now we put this on a high flame, mix it up, and we let this cook to 105 degrees. And now take it off the flame and pour it into a sterilized glass jar, very carefully. The temperature of the jam can reach between 105 to 110, not above that. Then your jam is gone. Now it's time to keep this jam away to cool. Make sure you don't put the cap on so it cools properly. So now it's time to make the Mekitsi. We take about 150 grams of yogurt and break in 1 egg. And now, with the whisk, we whisk it together. When the egg and yogurt have combined, we add in about 60 milliliters of water. To this we add 20 grams of crumbled yeast. Now we add about 2 tablespoons or 1 of sugar. If you wish, you don't have to add any sugar at all. Now we add in 400 grams of flour and a pinch of salt, but not too much salt. Bring it all together. And now, on a lightly flat surface, bring out the mixture and knead it till it all comes together and forms a nice little dough. When the dough has come together, we leave it to rise for 1 hour. There we go, 1 hour to rise. This dough has risen beautifully, as we can see, and now it is time to roll it out and cut it into circles. So, lightly flour as work surface, spread some flour on top, and roll it up. So now comes the embarrassing part. So we're supposed to use round biscuit cutters for this to cut out little donuts, but I seem to have misplaced mine. So I'm just going to use this little muffin cup, use the other side to cut. It'll be the same, I promise. Once these are done, we leave them aside to proof for about 10 to 15 minutes. So now that the Mekitsi has proven itself, I will, nay I must, deep fry it. So I've kept some oil on a high flame and it's heated up quite well. Let us put the Mekitsi in. When the Mekitsi are golden brown on both sides, we take them off on some absorbent cloth. There we go. Once the Mekitsis have cooled down, we top them off with some icing sugar. So now it's time to make the Banitsa. And to make the Banitsa, we have to make Phyllo pastry. So, as you might have guessed, I'm not going to use store-bought pastry and make my own. So here we go, 500 grams of flour, make a well, and add about 25 milliliters of olive oil and sprinkle over 5 grams of salt. Mix the olive oil and the flour together until all the olive oil is absorbed. To this, we add about 160 ml of tepid water. If you don't know what tepid means, there's a brilliant book you can refer to. It's called the Oxford English Dictionary. Add the tepid water and mix it together with a spatula. Tip it off on a surface, bring it together to form a dough. When it all comes together, knead it for 10 whole minutes. So, this is finally done. If it looks broken and segmented and, ugly and not really very smooth, that's okay. That's just how Phyllo pastry looks in the beginning. Don't be worried. Just wrap it up in plastic. Wrap it well, flatten it slightly, and leave it to rest in the refrigerator for 1 hour. So now it's time to make the filling for the Phyllo pastry of Banitsa. Bulgarian breakfast has so many alliterations. We take feta cheese, a good amount. Now, the filling is made up to your discretion. You can put as much or as less you want. I've taken about 250 grams of feta cheese. Crush the feta cheese with the back of your spatula until it crumbles a bit. To this, I'm adding yogurt. Mix it all together. Break in 2 eggs. And add butter. Make sure the butter is soft and not cold so that it mixes properly. And to this you finally add crushed black pepper. Do not add salt. Feta cheese is quite salty in itself. The consistency need not be so liquidy. It can be crumbly like the feta. For that, you can minus the yogurt out of the whole thing. And now, because there's a long time for the Phyllo pastry to be rolled out, we will wrap this up in some plastic and leave it in the fridge. Time to get on with the Phyllo pastry. It's nice and well rested. As you see, we have a pasta machine. Now, I'm going to take some corn flour. This is what will give me the perfect dryness, and put it between the 2 levers of the pasta machine and spread it generously on the worktop. If you don't have corn flour, you can use potato starch. If you don't have potato starch, you can just don't make Phyllo pastry. Take your Phyllo pastry, rub the corn flour above it and below it and everywhere, and cut it into smaller parts. Rub corn flour on all sides. This is the messiest thing you would ever do in your life, apart from making actual pasta, which is more or less the same way. Take a piece of dough, press it and make it rectangular, flatten it slightly, put the space setting on the widest feature, and force the dough through the machine. So the first result is never, ever satisfactory. So we trim the top and the base and the sides just a touch and pass it through the machine twice I'm passing it in 4 times because it is slightly slanted in an effort to make it even. Reduce the space setting by 2 and pass it through the machine. Don't worry about the wastage. You can pass these trimmings through the machine again, crackle them up, and make really good crusts for things like pies. Reduce the space setting down 2 notches once again, and pass it through the machine twice. Now, reduce it to 1, which is the lowest space, and pass it through the machine twice. Do not pass it on a 3rd time. It's most likely going to break. Very delicate pastry. And that, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, is some nice, perfect, thin Phyllo pastry, or Phyllo pastry, or Phyllo pastry, or just pastry. So now we take a round cake pan or casserole dish, or even pie tin, if you wish, and rub it with some soft or melted butter. Be generous with it, and then keep it aside. On a flat surface, take a part of the Phyllo pastry, cut that into half and make 4/4. Simple? Very. Take some melted butter, or clarified, brush the pastry lightly on one side, and place another one on top of it. Press the 2 together, rub the corn flour off, and brush butter on the other one again. Now, take the feta, egg, yogurt, and butter mixture and spoon some in, and then make a roll of it and leave it aside. As we go on, we increase the sizes of the rolls to double, and that's about it. We just make these 2 sizes. In the long ones, put the mixture in lengthways. This is the desired length after the first 2. Now we take the longest of the phyllos and arrange it along the side. Take the shorter one and make another circle, touching it. Take the even shorter one and make a concentric circle inside. And these small ones that we've made, bend them slightly to cover the gaps. So that's why we make 2 small ones. In case there are gaps, we can fill them up. There you go. Make sure it's all pressed together. Oh, that looks amazing. And we've got one left. We'll just bake this separately and eat it. Sounds like a good idea. If it breaks a little bit on the side, that's fine. So now we brush this with egg wash. We put this in the oven at 200 degrees for about 40 minutes. Let's take it to the oven. The oven is preheated. So making Phyllo pastry from scratch is fun, but as you can see, I really do need an apron, or at least an overall. It's time to wash up a little bit. The Banitsa is done, and the crust is slightly hard, but we want a softer crust, so we just spray it with some water, not too much, and cover it with any lid so that it condenses and becomes soft. Now we leave it like this for 10 minutes for it to completely cool down before we take it out of the pan and eat the living daylights out of it. So there you have it, a traditional Bulgarian breakfast with some classic Banitsa, Mekitsi and some wonderful plum jam. Like I said before, Bulgaria is known for, well, I still have a lot to read up on about Bulgaria, but I'm quite sure the breakfast is going to be something that Bulgaria is going to be known for from now on. So, while I go read up, de bon appétit!